The monastery air held a weight of uncertainty as I approached the Buddha, seeking wisdom to endure the trials ahead. Seated under the ancient banyan tree, the Buddha radiated serenity that calmed our troubled hearts and restless minds. "Master," I began, my voice trembling, "the drought persists, and despair spreads among us. How do we endure this suffering?" The Buddha gazed deeply into the horizon, his eyes reflecting the wisdom of countless lifetimes. "Suffering is as transient as the morning mist," he said. He gestured to the parched earth below, its cracks like scars from nature's hardship. "Even this dry soil holds seeds of life." The disciples and I listened, drawn to his words like weary travelers finding solace in the shade. The Buddha recounted an episode from his past, long before enlightenment. "I once walked through a harsh, desolate desert. The sun scorched the earth, and my body ached for water. Mirages appeared, tempting me with illusions of relief. I felt despair gnaw at my spirit. Yet the teachings of impermanence anchored my resolve. Each step through that desert became an act of faith, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit." The Buddha's voice softened, but the strength in his message remained unwavering. Setbacks are not barriers. They are bridges to inner strength. I reflected on his words, imagining each challenge as a step toward growth, rather than an obstacle to overcome. "Master, how do we nurture resilience when hope feels distant?" I asked, yearning for practical wisdom. The Buddha smiled, his expression illuminating the eternal flame of compassion within him. "Hope is not found outside. It is cultivated within." He pointed to a drooping flower by the monastery gate. "Its petals wan but its roots steadfast. Even this fragile flower persists, trusting the earth will provide nourishment in time. So too must we persist." Another disciple stepped forward, his face marked by worry. "Master, how do we rebuild faith after many losses?" The Buddha answered, "Faith is not shattered by loss. It is reshaped and strengthened in the crucible of adversity." He recounted another story. "In the days before enlightenment, I faced rejection and doubt from many who dismissed my journey. Yet, each rejection became a lesson in patience. Each doubt became a catalyst for deeper conviction. Through the fire of challenge, faith emerges purer and unshakable, like gold refined by flames." The banyan leaves rustled as the Buddha's voice carried a soothing cadence. Resilience is a skill cultivated with awareness. I pondered his teachings, realizing that resilience was not inherited but learned through mindful engagement with life's trials. One disciple knelt, her voice quivering. "Master, how do we inspire others to find hope in their suffering?" The Buddha replied, "Our actions are the seeds of inspiration. When we embody hope, we nourish hope in others. Just as the sun warms the earth, our presence can ignite the spirit of those who despair." The Buddha's gaze shifted toward the distant mountains, their peaks etched into the heavens. Mountains endure, unyielding even to storms. Like the mountains, we must stand firm, embracing change as a force that strengthens our foundations. I felt clarity blossom within, understanding that setbacks are opportunities to renew and deepen our commitment to the path. "Master," I ventured, "what role does mindfulness play in enduring hardship?" The Buddha spoke with gentle conviction. "Mindfulness anchors us to the present, where suffering loses its grip on the heart. When we fully inhabit each moment, fear and despair dissolve, revealing clarity and strength." He gestured for us to meditate, urging us to connect with the impermanence surrounding us. As I closed my eyes, the parched earth became an emblem of endurance, its cracks revealing the promise of renewal. The Buddha continued, "Each breath we take is an affirmation of life's continuity. Let your breath be your anchor in storms. Challenges will pass, just as seasons transform. Resilience thrives in our faith in this transformation." When I opened my eyes, I found myself embraced by a sense of calm. As if the banyan tree itself spoke, the Buddha shared one final insight: hope is not a destination, it is the journey itself, made meaningful by our struggles. The disciples and I bowed deeply, our hearts swelling with renewed purpose. His wisdom illuminated our path like the dawn. Leaving the banyan tree, I carried his words as lanterns in my soul, guiding me through life's inevitable hardships. Another day, another challenge emerged as a storm swept through the monastery, uprooting the sacred Bodhi tree. The tree, once a symbol of enlightenment, lay felled, its branches severed and its roots exposed to the elements. I approached the Buddha with a heavy heart, my steps burdened by sorrow over the loss of the revered tree. "Master," I began, my voice trembling, "the Bodhi tree has fallen. Its fall feels like a blow to our faith." The Buddha gazed at the fallen tree, his expression calm, his presence unwavering amidst the chaos of nature's destruction. He placed his hand on the trunk, now stripped of its leaves, and spoke with a voice of profound stillness. "Faith," he said, "is not rooted in external symbols. It resides in the heart, unshaken by storms or losses." I listened, his words stirring a faint sense of clarity within my grief. "But Master, how do we endure this loss?" The Buddha's gaze shifted to the exposed roots, their tenacity a testament to resilience. "Endurance is born from our roots," he explained. He recounted a story from his journey before my enlightenment. "I sought refuge under a tree during fierce winds. The tree swayed but did not fall. Its roots held steadfast, embracing the soil that nurtured its strength. In its endurance, I saw a reflection of the path. The roots of faith anchor us through life's tempests." The Buddha turned to us, his disciples, his voice imbued with gentle strength. "Loss is not an end, but a transformation." I pondered his words, realizing that even in the fall of the Bodhi tree, lessons of resilience emerged. "Master," another disciple asked, "how do we rebuild after such destruction?" The Bodhi tree was central to our teachings. The Buddha smiled faintly, his expression filled with compassion. "Destruction clears the way for renewal. From loss, new growth arises." He continued his story after the winds calmed. The tree shed its broken branches and began to grow anew. I understood then that setbacks prepare us for renewal, just as the tree renews itself after the storm. The disciples nodded, their sorrow easing as hope planted itself in their hearts. Nurtured by the Buddha's wisdom, "Do not mourn what is gone," he said, "but celebrate the possibility of what will come in its place." The Buddha's words hung in the air, offering solace and igniting hope within the depths of our hearts. He gestured for us to examine the fallen tree more closely, inviting us to observe its enduring connection to the earth. "These roots," he explained, "remain steadfast like them. We must remain grounded in truth, even when life's branches are severed." I knelt before the tree, feeling the earth beneath my hands, its coolness a reminder of life's cycles. "Master," I asked, "how do we inspire others when symbols of hope have fallen? How do we lead without them?" The Buddha replied, his voice steady, "Hope does not dwell in symbols. It lives in our actions and presence. Be the roots for others when storms uproot their trees. Be the soil that nurtures new growth within them." The disciples and I exchanged glances, the weight of responsibility tempered by the Buddha's empowering guidance. I stood, feeling the strength of the earth beneath me, as if the fallen tree itself spoke of endurance. "Master," a younger monk asked, "how do we prevent despair from taking root in our hearts after such loss?" The Buddha answered, "Despair is but a shadow cast by fear. Illuminate it with understanding, and it dissolves into clarity." He shared another story. "Once, I wandered through a village struck by famine. Fear and despair loomed over the people. I taught them to share their meager resources, to see the abundance hidden within unity. Despair gave way to hope. Likewise, the Buddha continued, when we share our strength with others, despair cannot take root. Together, we become resilient. The fallen tree became a symbol of communal strength as we worked together to honor its legacy and nurture renewal. We gathered its branches to craft tools, its leaves to fertilize the soil, transforming loss into an act of creation. The Buddha observed our efforts, his face a serene testament to the teachings of resilience and faith. Every act of renewal, he said, is an affirmation of life's continuity. Through renewal, we honor what has been lost. The storm passed, but its lessons remained, etched into our hearts like the grooves of the fallen tree's bark. I found myself walking alongside the Buddha, my heart lighter, as he shared one final insight. Do not fear the fall, for it is the precursor to rising again. Loss awakens the potential for growth. The disciples and I bowed deeply before the Buddha, our spirits uplifted and our faith restored through his profound wisdom. As we left the site of the fallen tree, its presence transformed into a symbol of resilience and hope within us. Another day, another wave of unease gripped the monastery as the rains returned, flooding the fields and testing our resolve. I approached the Buddha, my heart weighed down by the struggles of rebuilding after the storm and the relentless uncertainty. Master, I began, though the rains bring renewal, they also bring fear. How do we maintain hope amidst recurring challenges? The Buddha sat beside the rushing stream, his gaze calm as he observed the water's persistence against obstacles in its path. He spoke with gentle conviction. Hope is like this stream. It moves forward, carving its path, unyielding despite resistance. The disciples gathered, their faces etched with questions as the Buddha continued, his voice resonating with timeless wisdom. To find hope, we must understand it is not static. It flows like water, adapting yet unwavering in its journey. I listened, his words illuminating the nature of hope and resilience as essential forces shaping our lives and struggles. Master, another disciple asked, how do we cultivate strength when fear threatens to overwhelm our hearts and minds? The Buddha replied, his tone soothing, fear is but a shadow cast by uncertainty. Illuminate it with clarity, and it dissolves. He recounted a story from his journey. Once, I encountered a woman who feared her crops would never flourish again. Her fear immobilized her. Yet, when she began to tend her fields with care, hope sprouted alongside the seedlings. The Buddha's gaze softened as he addressed us. Action transforms fear into purpose. Through effort, hope is nurtured and sustained. I pondered his words, realizing that fear fades when we engage with life's challenges with mindful, compassionate determination. Master, I ventured, how do we inspire others to find hope when despair seems inevitable in their circumstances? The Buddha smiled gently, his presence radiating compassion. Our lives become light when we embody hope, guiding others through darkness. He continued his story. In another village, I met a man who shared his last grain with neighbors despite his own hunger. Through his selflessness, hope spread across the village, dissolving despair. Unity transforms individual strength into collective resilience. The disciples exchanged glances, absorbing the power of shared compassion and its role in nurturing hope within communities. Another disciple knelt before the Buddha, her voice quivering. Master, how do we rebuild when setbacks persist, destroying progress? The Buddha spoke, his voice unwavering. Setbacks are not destruction, they are transitions. Renewal emerges from persistence and our faith in cycles. He gestured toward a tree bent by the storm, its branches resilient yet reshaped by the forces it endured. See this tree, he said. It bends but does not break. Its roots embrace the earth, grounding it through change. I felt clarity blossom within, recognizing that resilience is rooted in acceptance and adaptability rather than resistance to Life's shifts. Master, a young monk asked, how do we prevent despair from taking root in our hearts again after overcoming challenges? The Buddha answered, his tone firm but compassionate. Despair cannot take root in a heart nourished by mindfulness and gratitude. He recounted another tale. In my travels, I met a man who mourned the loss of his family in a flood. Through mindfulness, he found peace in each moment and gratitude for the memories and lessons shared with his loved ones. The Buddha continued, gratitude and mindfulness anchor us, preventing despair from overtaking the fertile ground of our hearts. The disciples reflected. Their expressions softened as understanding settled within them like seeds carried by the gentle winds. The Buddha shared one final insight: hope is not the absence of trials. It is the courage to navigate them with faith. The disciples and I bowed deeply, our hearts imbued with renewed purpose. Guided by the Buddha's profound teachings, as the rains receded, leaving the land nourished, we carried his wisdom as light within, ready to face life's challenges anew. It transforms into strength when you allow it to flow naturally into the earth of your soul. The disciple nodded, his heart feeling lighter, the teachings grounding him in newfound resilience and understanding. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.